1075 The Game Podcasting is sponsored by Modern Exterminating, a family-oriented company. Professional, honest, and dependable pest control solutions. We're your one-stop shop for all pests.
How much do these losses affect maybe your perception of the season, perception of expectation? Because it's no secret that for Paul Maneri, this is going to be a big year, but I don't know what that means. I don't know what record that entails. Obviously, this is a program built on postseason baseball, and you know as well as I do, Jamie and Tyler, there's going to be some people he could make a regional, and some people are going to still say it doesn't matter. You should have made a super regional. He can make a super regional, and some people are going to say you should have made the World Series. But right now, how much does what you've seen and the potential for injuries affect any of your mindset as it comes to expectation?
Doesn't affect the expectations. You know, the South Carolina motto is win anyway, and they need to recapture that. You know, the expectations are, and I know that they're high in that. And we talked to Paul last week. I talked to Coach Maneri for a while, and he told me, I can tell you right now that we're a better baseball team than we were last year. And, you know, so they have to go out and prove that. Those are words. You got to prove it with actions. We all know it. So regardless of the injuries, it doesn't change the expectations. We've seen big injuries in Columbia before, and you got to figure out how to go out there and get around that and it might be a grind. It might be a grind, but you got to get where you're going somehow. And it's up to the staff and it's up to the players to, you know, piece it together, perform when you're asked to perform, and put these guys in positions to be successful, you know. So how quickly does that come together? That's the question. I mean, luckily, you know, it's not like you come out of the gates in football against, I know this year not in football, but generally, like, you're not coming out of the gates against SEC competition. You got a couple of weekend series and some midweeks before you get to Clemson. So I would say that it, you know, early on, it's going to be important. If you're a casual baseball fan and you want to get some insights, your own insights as to what this season is going to look like, I would say pay attention early. Pay attention to the first 9 games of the year, and see who they're running in there and what positions out of the bullpen, and see who's getting their starts and how long are they able to hang in there. You know, is your Friday night guy only going 4 innings or is he going 7 innings? You know, those are the things that'll give you an idea of what needs to be adjusted before the meat of the schedule comes up, and if it can be adjusted.
I think Shane Beamer is in a relatively okay spot. I don't – they would have to completely implode, Tyler. This is my opinion, and it's not based on talking with anybody. I think they would have to completely implode for Shane Beamer to be fired and have to pay that buyout, but who knows?
Does basketball and baseball have an effect on where that line is for Beamer going into the fall? Because let's say you do move on from Paris. Let's say baseball does go sideways and you make a move on Maneri. Well, again, that's 2 coaches that you've already bought out. Like, does that change how you look at the Beamer thing?
I don't think so. I think Jeremiah Donati is – I think Jeremiah Donati is a guy who basically looks at it like, we're going to come up with the money. I don't know how. We might have to go into debt, but we're going to come up with it. He strikes me as a little bit more of a business guy who understands the time and the place to have to make certain moves like this. And that's why I say, you know, like the buyout to me is kind of, for South Carolina, irrelevant in this situation, Tyler. This is about trying to get one of your athletic programs, just one, aside from women's basketball, back to being just standard, just competitive.
Yeah.
Just standard.
2025 was not fun. Here's hoping 26 is better.